So what do you think the ceiling is for the Houston Texans and their floor for their offense?
Oh.
Where can they if they hit on all cylinders?
If they hit on all cylinders, I think they could be the best offense in football.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Better than the Chiefs? Better than the Niners?
Yep, because I think the Chiefs rely so heavily on Mahomes that I think that if they hit on all cylinders with all the talent that they have, and I think that they have a good advantage at some of the skill positions with even the Chiefs, I think they could have the best offense in all the NFL. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to get there, but if I'm going to set the ceiling, that's the ceiling for me because of the amount of talent I think they have on offense.
Okay. I would go like top three. Being number one is going to be tough. Like the Niners have a really good offense. The Chiefs can. Like Chiefs kind of sleptwalked offensively through the regular season and then like flipped the switch.
Right.
Detroit's got a really good offense. I would say top three for the Texans. I really can't see a scenario, and maybe this is me homering, I can't see a scenario where the Texans are not a top 10 offense.
I can't either.
Unless Stroud gets hurt. That's the only scenario.
Well, and offensive line play could still factor in a little bit, but he was able to do it with less than an offensive line last year, and now he's got better weapons. I think Miami, Philadelphia, I think Cincinnati, I think they all have a lot of talent to be considered in that discussion. But because the Chiefs rely so heavily on just Mahomes, because of the fact that I'm not as big a believer like in with Purdy and the Niners, it's a system, but he runs the system. And like you said, an injury could derail some of this too. But I think the Texans, the sky's the limit for how high they can go. And on the low side, I don't think that they should fall out of the top 10.
Okay, yeah. We're right, similar. You think it could be top one? I think more top three, bottom top 10.
If you had to choose the other two in the top three, it's with Kansas City, I would assume.
I would go San Fran and Detroit.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty bullish on Detroit.
I think Philadelphia adding Saquon with those two receivers, the tight end, and the fact that the way they run their offense, I think they're way up there.
I feel like that was a Steichen joint, though.
I think I can see you thinking that, but I think there's just so much stinking talent on that team.
Yeah, I mean Brown, Devontae, now Saquon
Smith
can be a little bit banged up at times.
Yeah, and what's the tight end? Goddard.
They have Kellen Moore now, and Kellen Moore did guide a number one offense in the NFL a few years ago with Dallas. But I look at the Eagles' success 2 years ago. I'm like, I wonder how much that was Shane Steichen, and then last year lack of success. Probably more on Jalen Hurts, but I thought they were a circus last year. I did not like the Eagles at all.
How do you start
last season.
10-1 and then just fall off the planet?
Nick Sirianni, I would.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of
and injuries. I mean, Hurts was banged up. That certainly hurts. This list, the Bleacher Report, they had the Texans 12th. 12th offense in the NFL. They had the Rams ahead of them, which, I mean, you got McVay. You got Stafford if they stay healthy.
Puka and
Kyron Williams was really good last year. Puka was one of the, a huge surprise. I could see a scenario in which the Rams are better than the Texans offensively.
Hopefully should come back and be good.
They have Green Bay higher than them.
That's ridiculous.
You don't like that one?
That's ridiculous.
You hate Jordan Love.
I really do.
Is there anyone in sports you hate more than Jordan Love?
I don't know that I say hate, but I don't
think he's overrated.
Yeah, I think he's completely overrated. And I love they got a good young receiving core. They don't have the Texans receiving core. They got Jacobs at running back, so I give them the advantage there. They got two good young tight ends, but Dalton Schultz can compete with those two young tight ends, in my opinion. And they're trying to rebuild their offensive line as opposed to the Texans that have pretty much 3/5 of their offensive line solidified and two other guys to fill it. I don't see it.
This is one of my favorite things is getting you to bang on the team that you like the most.
I know. Well, I honestly was thinking the other day, I think I like the Texans more than I like the Packers over the last couple of years.
Is Jordan Love why you took the Packers decal off your car?
I didn't take it off; it fell off. I had to roll down
Jordan Love.
No, we had dogs in the back, and I had to roll down the window for the dogs. When I rolled it back up, it wasn't there anymore.
This is a very calculated way to take off your decal because you don't like Jordan Love.
The license plate holder's still there.
I like the Packers more than you do, but I don't think they should be ahead of the Texans. Dallas.
No.
I mean, they were pretty legit offensively last year. CD was incredible.
It was just Dak and CD.
Yeah, I was going to do Dak and CD. What else they got?
I mean, that's it.
And what did they add?
They have the Archer.
Nothing.
No, and what did they lose? Pollard.
They Brandon Cooks. Addition by subtraction. Okay.
So Zeke's going to have a resurrection of his career and a renaissance.
You know who I've been drafting in best balls, and you tell me if this is stupid or not. I've been drafting a lot, too much, uncomfortably too much of Rico Dowdle. I've been drafting a lot of Rico Dowdle.
He's on the other side of CD?
No, he's the running back.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know who that is.
I think he's going to be their most productive running back.
What round is he going in?
Late. late, like probably
I
in
don't
the
mind
teens.
that.
I can't.
'Cause
Like, he's going in the
I think
teens.
Zeke's going to get touchdowns, but I could see Rico getting the majority of the 3-down work.
And it's half point PPR. I think he's
Yeah.
going to catch. Well, I mean, Ezekiel catches passes too.
Yeah, he did last year in Buffalo.
Cash or trash,
New England.
Dowdle's going to have more production than Zeke.
Fantasy or just straight out?
I mean, it's kind of the
It's
same.
pretty much the same, yeah.
Well, when you start talking about carries and things.
Well, you don't get points for carries.
Just
Or, I mean,
yards and
I'm sorry,
touchdowns,
catches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's half point. I mean, we'll go fantasy since we're talking fantasy.
I think Dowdle will have more than Zeke.
Yeah.
I think Zeke's washed.
Yeah, I would cash it too.
Okay, there we go. All right, further other teams up here. Let's see. But Bills, we had this argument the other day. I think the Texans' offense is better than the Bills' offense.
I do too.
Bengals, Higgins is going to sign the franchise tag.
Yeah, I saw that today. Ooh,
I think this is a toss-up.
yeah, that's a
50-50.
pretty good one.
Baltimore,
I think the Texans could be, but right now because you couldn't beat them and Lamar still Lamar, I'm gonna call it a wash.
I give the edge Baltimore there. Philly, I give the edge Texans here. Actually.
I give the edge to the Philly right now.
I want to see them do without Steichen. Miami,
I'm gonna give the edge to Miami.
they were so bad late in the
Yeah,
year.
but they got depth at running back. They got two good running backs. They got receivers.
They drafted Jalen Wright too. I liked him.
They got a lot of talent.
Detroit, I have higher. Kansas
Yeah.
City.
I actually think. Well, the tight
I think
end
there's a
running
chance
back's
they'll be
big.
better than Detroit.
I
I
think-
still
yeah.
have Detroit ahead of them.
I kind of like the Texans better than Detroit.
Okay, Kansas City. Kansas City's weird because I could see them sleepwalking through the regular season again like they did last year.
And plus, Pacheco is so important to them. He's so, just because of the fact, they got Patrick Mahomes, but Pacheco took so much heat off of him with his ability to just get extra yards and pound the ball that if something happens to him, what do they do now?
I think the Chiefs are just gonna like go 11-6, be like okay offensively, like
Do it
win
again.
with some defense, and then just like go nuts in the playoffs again. And then they have San Fran. I can't put anybody ahead of San Fran. I like Shanahan.
No, they're loaded.
Yeah, they're loaded, and I like Shanahan a lot.
Ayuk's unhappy now. He says that they don't want him.
He was doing he like did something cryptic on TikTok.